Hey guys, back out from a pet here. Today is a very exciting day for me and I hope it is for you too. I'm going to be doing my first backyard tour of 2023. It's April 5th, so it's the end of winter, beginning of spring, and I'm going to take you through the entire backyard. But today I'm going to start in the front yard because the front yard is definitely the neglected spot in my garden. But there are pretty exciting things happening in my front yard that we're going to go through. So in today's video, I'm going to take you through the entire garden. I'm going to show you some plants I lost with the freezes, and I'm going to show you some plants and fruits that are just popping and doing extremely well. So guys, and you guys can give me some advice as we go along the way because there are some things happening in the garden that I'm not used to. But guys, without further ado, let's get started. Zone 9B, Palm Bay, Florida, Spring Tour 2023. Okay, so we're in my front yard for today, for the beginning of this tour. And first, guys, I've got to show you my strawberry tree, otherwise known as Jamaican cherry, otherwise known as cotton candy tree. This tree is just completely laden with flowers. And guys, this was planted as like a 4-foot tree plant like a year ago, exactly 1 year ago. And guys, it's probably 20 feet tall now, and every branch is just covered with fruit. And guys, these fruits are just so sweet. Let me see if I can find some fruit to show you. So that's what the strawberry fruit looks like. Every branch right now is just covered with fruit and flowers. So we're going to be getting a lot of these strawberry fruit from this. The birds love it also, and the squirrels. So hopefully we will get quite a few. And as you can see by those bees, it attracts a whole lot of pollinators into the garden. So this is my strawberry plant. I'm gonna have a lot of these on Etsy, but I'm considering only making it available for local people who are able to pick them up, because you know, sometimes with Etsy when you ship things, the soil shifts and then there are issues, and then you know. So just to make it safer for the plant when traveling, I think I'm just gonna have it locally. But I'm gonna definitely do a lot of cuttings of this plant. It's extremely fast growing. If you need a plant that grows really big, gives you a ton of fruits within a year, your strawberry plant, or they call it Jamaican cherry, but it's not the actual cherries from Jamaica. This is, that's just the horticultural name. Tell you, it's literally a miracle that these plants are alive. We have not had any water, any rain for 2 months in South Florida, in Central Florida, where I am in Zone 9B. So and I have not come outside even once to water the front. So the plants we're looking pretty rough. As you can see here, this is my Jamaican poinsettia, completely dried up, but it's still trying to survive. It's still alive. It's still alive, but I just have not come out here, so most of the branches are like dry. But this will come back. You can see it's trying to spring to life. I have Living Large Productions. They are a landscape company that did a phenomenal job. They came out yesterday and helped me with some weeding and mulching. So if you guys are in the market for somebody to come help with weeding and mulching, I can definitely recommend them. They came early and they worked all day, and they're on their way back to finish up today. So these are flowering plants. These are going to grow into big beautiful flowers. And then I have my cranberry hibiscus here and my lychee tree. So last year Sri Lankan weevils decimated the leaves. As you can see, all that is leaf damage is from the Sri Lankan weevils that literally eat the leaves. The good thing is it doesn't really affect the tree itself. It's just makes it not pretty. But of course, what I'm gonna be paying more attention to the front yard this year. Last year my focus was just getting food in, as much food as possible in. This year my focus is going to be on building up soil and If you have healthy soil, you're going to have healthy fruit trees, and healthy fruit trees mean you're going to have tons of fruit. Along the front here, I have 3 frangipani sticks. These were literally sticks that my friend Loy, she cut sticks off her frangipani stored her property. She wasn't even sure what the colors were, but obviously this one here already started blooming. This one is white, and these 2 bloomed last year. I believe one is yellow and one is purple, or one might be another one might be yellow and another one white. But these are all doing well despite not having come out here at all to water. They are doing well. You can see they're all ready to bloom. So I'm gonna have, as these grow in, I'm gonna have beautiful flowering trees along the front, flanked by the fruit trees in the back. The first tree that I lost is my jackfruit tree that was doing extremely well. Last year it actually had a blossom and it had a tiny jackfruit on it, but it completely dried up. I'm gonna still leave it in the ground. I'm gonna water it to see if somehow there's life in the roots and that it'll come back. But that's because of going the entire winter with very little water, and then of course going through a drought in the past 2 months. So over here, so this is all new to you guys because I usually don't go through the front too much. This is my bougainvillea. Was actually my mother-in-law's bougainvillea before she passed away. It was dried up in a pot, looking like it was completely dead. After she passed, I brought it here, planted it, nurtured it, and the bougainvillea is absolutely bursting with flowers. The thing about bougainvillea, you have to be very careful. It has a lot of thorns on it, so you don't want to plant it somewhere that people can get scratched. And here are the thorns. You can see here, it has these thorns. So you want to make sure that you don't plant it anywhere that people can get scratched. I planted it up against a fence. I don't have any plants close to it, so we should be good here. So over here is my elderberry plant. And I think in one of the videos I showed you how I actually broke a branch off by mistake while I was doing a video. And I just literally stuck it in the ground, and I said, oh, I'll repot it or whatever. So I just stuck it in the ground that day after I broke it off in a video and never came back. And guys, look, it is actually still alive. There it has a new bud coming right there, and there it has its leaves. So it never died. So the elderberry plant is very, very hardy and obviously very, very good to plant from cutting. And right there you can see where it broke. That's the spot where I broke it, and I stuck it right in the ground. Didn't do anything fancy, and there's basically no good soil around here. This is just a plant I stuck in the ground. I had 4 coconut trees around here, 4 coconut suckers, and what I did was I had Living Large Productions, Rob and his crew, plant them in a line close to the fence line. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 coconut suckers now, so that's gonna be a beautiful canopy of coconut trees coming up with those palm trees behind it. Then right in front, I had him transplant my Ataulfo mango and this is like a mix. It's like a East Indian mix mango that here. I plan on getting 1 more mango tree, or I might do a graft of my curry mango so I can have 3 mango trees. So I'm gonna have the 3 mango trees and the elderberry in front, and then I'll probably have another row of plants here because I want to start building out my food forest in the front yard also, not just in the backyard. Gotta maximize my space because I'm out of space in the front, in the back already. So all right guys, so let's go check out what we have going on in the back, because we have so much going on in the back. So real quick, I still have my of course my sugar canes are doing great. I try to propagate some red sugar cane that I bought in the store that was like the sweetest. They haven't come up yet, but then again, as I said, we've been in a drought and I haven't given anything a whole lot of water. I have my lemongrass right beside it. I have some Murasaki sweet potato slips that I started here in this bed. I will have slips available soon. I just want them to, you know, get a little bit more abundant, but this bed is dedicated to Murasaki sweet potatoes. So along here, guys, This is my June plum tree that had lost all its leaves and all its fruit. Guys, look at this now. It's like laden again with leaves and fruit. So I'm gonna be getting lots of June plum. Really looking forward to that. And then here is my cassava walk. So as I harvest the cassava, I just put sticks back in the ground, and you can see all the little sticks that I put in the ground are now sprouting. They're all now sprouting. And then those I put in the ground probably a few months ago. Some of them these were larger sticks that I put in, but I'm gonna dedicate this entire row to cassava sticks. And as you can see, Rob and his crew, they laid down fresh mulch yesterday, so this is really great. So here is a plant that I started using period. So I've showed you my Katuk plant. It is in I think in Mexico. This is something that is used extremely heavily. Uruguay, I heard Peru, it's almost considered like a medicinal, almost like a holy plant. This is the tree spinach, the Chaya tree spinach. So recently I had someone from California, I guess Mexican descent. She contacted me to ask if I would send her some Chaya leaves. Based on their culture, they said Chaya leaves helps a lot with milk production. So if you have a baby and you're not producing milk, it helps with the milk production. So I've literally been cutting leaves and sending it to her. What I'm gonna do also, and also I've been selling some of the cuttings on Etsy, but I'm gonna be starting a whole lot more Chaya plants because it seems that it's something that is highly used. I mean, as soon as I put them on Etsy, cuttings on Etsy, they go. So it looks like it's something that's highly used. So lots of medicinal purposes. With Chaya, you have to cook the leaves. These are the smooth Chaya leaves. You have to cook the smooth ones at least 10 minutes before cooking to release poisons and toxins that are in the leaf. With the fuzzy one, I heard that you have to cook it 20 minutes. So I've been boiling it for 10 minutes, and then I stir fry it. Last night I ate a whole bowl of it along with my dinner because it's supposed to be extremely nutritious. So that's your Chaya. So back here now, guys, I just planted, I planted several pumpkins. These are the pumpkins that I planted from seed back in February 23rd. So about a month and a couple weeks. And you can see it already has a fruit. This is the most recent transfer. I'll show you a couple more. Ooh, look at the bird, the leaves. I'll show you a couple more that were transferred earlier, but they're doing all my pumpkins are doing really well. Then of course my papaya, the fruit are coming back. I had lost all the fruit with all those that were stinging them, the papaya wasps that were stinging them and infecting the fruit. The fruit are coming back, but I do need to get up on a ladder and sprinkle, try and spray some copper fungicide because I do have these little spots. I still have the leaf spots on the leaves, as you can see right there. And I want to sprinkle, maybe get some BT. I don't know if that will keep the wasp off or some diatomaceous earth, but I have to do something to try and save my papayas. Covering them in the mesh bag doesn't do anything since the stinger goes right through the mesh. Then over here, so this is one of my first losses. My biggest banana tree that I had in the garden. Well, hold on, let me zoom in. The biggest banana tree, I kept cutting it back, hoping it would come back, but it's gone. So the banana tree is gone. However, the two suckers are doing extremely well, very, very healthy. So I'll just make sure I nurse those suckers so that, we get lots of bananas. I'm hoping now that the suckers are this big and it's only April, I'm hoping by the end of the year, something in this garden will give me some bananas. Along here, so this is another very special tree. This is a yellow coat plum. And this is the Jamaican yellow coat plum or hog plum. But these guys are the best ones I've had in my life, including in Jamaica. And this is a cutting from my friend Marcia and Vincent. It's from their plum stick. So I got this plum stick last year. I planted it. And guys, lo and behold, I have, I think, 9 plums on there. And I'm just nursing these. I probably put a bag over them because I would just be really upset if the squirrels get them before me. And over here I have my Thai white guava. another papaya that this is a female papaya in the island. It has some papayas on there. My Thai white guava, it has been, the leaves have been yellow and falling off, but I thought maybe it was because of the extreme drought, which it could be, but also it says if it goes through extreme cold or extreme heat, that can happen. And we did have a few freezes over the winter, and of course, guava is a tropical fruit. However, guys, look here, there's a lot of new growth coming, so I have a lot of hope for this plant that, you know, it's gonna do great, and who knows, we might even get some guavas because it's definitely a good size now. All right, so over here I'm doing a little some more food in pots. This one is my purple sweet potato. So this is, I planted a couple of purple sweet potatoes. It has tons of vines. I'm gonna make these available. And I forgot to show you, right beside my plum tree here, I just planted some Murasaki sweet potatoes. They're just beginning to spring up. So Murasaki was definitely, I think that was definitely my favorite sweet potato. So I'm gonna be eating a lot of Murasaki and offering those slips. So over here, guys, I planted a couple of my papaya suckers. You know, you guys know I had some papaya suckers on Etsy. I put a couple in the ground. One thing you guys have to know, because I know a couple of you ordered papayas, when you transport a plant, it may lose the leaves. It's gonna look a little bit weak and tired when it's in the mail for a week. But however, if you plant it and you take care of it, like I did here, the leaves will come back and the plant will thrive. These are going to be 2 huge trees by the end of the year. Then over here, I had planted a number of corn, and I planted garlic around the entire edge. All of them came up really well, but I guess squirrels or something got to it and ate just about every corn. They actually pulled the corn up, ate the corn, and then left the greens. But it seems that there is one corn they forgot, and a couple of these greens, these garlic. But what I did this week, I planted a couple the authentic Jamaican sweet potatoes in here. So I'm hoping those spring, and then I'll have Jamaican sweet potato slips also. Then here, this is a new addition to my garden. My neighbor across the street had a mami in a pot on their patio for years, and I just planted it in the ground. I lost most of the leaves, all the big leaves, but here we have some new leaves coming up. So this has been in the ground like 2 weeks. So this should thrive now that it's in the garden. Then guys, just 2 weeks ago, I cut that moringa tree. I just posted that 2 weeks ago, and look at the moringa after 2 weeks. And guys, look at the size of these leaves. Just to give you a comparison, this is the moringa beside it. This is what the moringa beside it looks like, and look at the size of these leaves that are coming out. So I'm extremely happy. If you guys missed that video, go back and check how I cut my moringa tree and how I'm using the leaves, how I blended them into a powder, and how I'm using those leaves. Then this is the other moringa tree that I haven't cut yet, but now I'm definitely gonna cut it, harvest the leaves, so I can, since within 2 weeks I can have more. I have my avocado here. The Katuk is doing really well. That got knocked back with the winter, but it's coming right back. And as a matter of fact, it's just about to start blossoming now. You can see the little blossoms along the leaves. My pigeon peas or gungo peas, those got killed with the last frost. So you can see the 2 pigeon peas. I got a whole ton from it. But guys, that's why it's important to succession plant. I already have 4 gungo peas coming up. The ones in the middle are the red gungo. The ones that I harvested before are the normal green gungo peas. But I have 4 red gungo coming up, and I do have some green ones that I'm gonna continue planting along here. This is gonna be like a gungo walk. I have cassava walk over that side, and on this side we're gonna have gungo walk. Speaking of cassava walks, I just have random cassavas sprinkled around. So another huge loss for me, well, not a complete loss because you can see it springing back, is my soursop tree. So this had completely dried up. I had been trimming back branches, but there was life in the base, so I left the base. So this is springing back. I didn't mention, but this winter, even though it fell to 20 degrees, in the 20s a couple times, I decided I wasn't going to cover any plants. So I didn't cover any plants at all. I just wanted to see what could survive. So I'll definitely cover the sour sop next time, since this died back, and as did my bananas. Rob and his team just cleaned out my callaloo patch that I had back here. It was all dried up from last year. I'll probably find another plant to plant back here. But guys, look, I have callaloo, all of these callaloos that you see here, which I'm going to harvest really quickly. All of these callaloos are volunteers that popped up from the patch that I had there. So even though I didn't harvest that, the seeds actually blew and came all through here. So this is enough for probably a couple meals. And as you can see, they are also going to seed. However, I'm not going to allow these to go to seed. I'm going to cut them back. And just a quick tip, when you're harvesting callaloo, you of course you're going to harvest the leaves, but you can cut it all the way back. Just leave a leaf node or two at the bottom and it will spring back. So callaloo is one of the great cut and come again vegetables that you cut it back, you use the leaves, and it will come back. So like for this one, I'm gonna go all the way down to this leaf node, cut it, enjoy the leaves, and the callaloo will come back. Right beside the callaloo, I have a Burro banana. Burro banana, in some cultures they call it plantain, but it's not the true plantain. However, this is the kind of banana they use in the Spanish culture to beat and make tostones. So here's my Burro banana. So here, my Oti apple tree took a beating. You can tell the leaves are really burnt with the cold, but it's still alive. So that one survived. And back here, behind all my callaloo, I have a couple of gungo peas, and I have a row of red sugar cane that I planted. I planted about 3 or 4 pieces. None of them have sprung yet, so I'm hoping that they will come up. And I had planted several pigeon peas along here. I separated them and planted them in throughout the garden. Here I have, can't remember the name. I think it's an ice cream banana. I had transplanted a sucker. It died back. And this is actually 2 suckers that came from the one. Yep, this is actually 2 banana suckers. You can see it's 2 separate roots that came back from the one that died. So that's really a wonderful thing about bananas. Once you start growing them, you always have bananas. They're constantly setting up suckers. Here, my Jamaican cherry hasn't started bearing yet. I have a couple of them. We passed another one over there. Neither of my cherries have blossomed yet, but I'm hoping that this is going to be the year. Here, another banana. This is now my largest banana in the tree. This one survived, had no damage with the cold. It was really, really excellent, and it's setting up another sucker. I believe by the end of this year, I'll definitely have bananas from this one. Here I have my naseberry, and guys, I have a whole bunch of naseberries blossoms coming out. Last year, I had 2 tiny naseberries form, but they didn't hold. So hopefully this year we get some naseberry. There's been almost 0 growth on this tree. I don't know why it's this slow growing. I do plan on getting a well. I have somebody coming out later on today to show me, to talk to me about getting a well. So hopefully we can come to an arrangement. Here I have my mulberry tree, guys, and my mulberry is literally loaded with mulberries. Every inch of this plant is mulberries. As you can see, they're in different stages. Some are green, some are just beginning to ripen. And as you can see, every inch of this plant is bearing. So this is one that I can definitely say is doing really, really well. My mulberries. And let's see what's going on in the veggie bed. So my passion fruit vine is coming up really nicely. So before you know it, this trellis will be covered with the passion fruit vine. But in the meantime, I have my yard long beans that are taken over. They have come up very far, so I'll be harvesting yard-long beans pretty soon. They literally just started blossoming. I have one blossom, you can see here. I have one bean that's just that's my very first bean, so it has a way to go. All my bok choy have gone to seed. My blue porterweed or vervain, which is a extremely powerful medicinal. Many of you bought this from me last year. This is just in full bloom. The bees and the butterflies and the flies, everything is just loving it. All my herbs have come back really nicely. My regular oregano, my broadleaf oregano or French thyme or Jamaican broadleaf thyme, my rosemary, my dill, everything is doing really well. Over here, let's look at the seedlings. So my cucumbers, you can see these are the cucumbers that I started from seed less than about a month and a half ago, end of February, and now today is April 4th. And look guys, I already have lots of blossoms coming out on my cucumbers, so I'm really pleased with that. So I have cucumbers and I have some more yard-long beans, because I don't know if I mentioned to you guys, yard-long beans are by far my favorite, absolute favorite bean. Really delicious, tastes like edamame. My Everglades tomato is still loaded with tomatoes, and it's growing all the way up the arch. It's doing really well. My basil, I finally got some of my sun sugar tomatoes. Those are my absolute favorite tomatoes. They are bright yellow when they're ripe. I've eaten off all the yellow ones, so none to show you today. Here, wow, look at this. Oh my goodness, the dreaded leaf-footed nymph. That's a dreaded leaf-footed nymph. It's a good idea to keep a couple bowls of water with soap in your garden, so whenever you see those things, you can just knock it off. All right, so let's go check out our guavas and let's see what we have growing in the shed. All right guys, so I have some seeds growing here in the shed. I have several passion fruit seeds from the passion fruit that I grew last year. Several cranberry hibiscus. I know you guys were very interested in the cranberry hibiscus. I have several growing from seed. I have some moringa seedlings here, also growing from seed. Those moringas that you saw were all planted from seed last year, and that's how big they've gotten. I think I have some milkweeds, also from seed. I have an elderberry cutting back down here, and I have a custard apple, some plum sticks, and I have several wild muscadine. Where are my wild muscadines? I have wild muscadine and cultivated muscadine. Let's see what this is. Oh no, that's not it. But anyway, I have wild muscadine and cultivated muscadines that I have growing very well. Oh, here they are. These are my wild muscadines, and they already started leafing out, so very good there. And then guys, let's go check out my guava. So I have to tell you, I've had like 3 guavas so far, and they are absolutely delicious. So my guava tree is very prolific this year. Last year I got 4 guavas in all, but of course it was a very small tree last year. It has quadrupled in size since last year, and now I have loads of guava, and they are super sweet. They ripe up really quickly. You have to really watch them. A squirrel got my first guava, but I make sure that as soon as they start turning color, I pick them and then just let them ripe for a day or so on the counter. So my guava is awesome, super happy. Oh, let me show you real quick guys. Oh my goodness, look at this. This is my Jamaican pumpkin, and look at that beautiful flower about to open. And you know it's a female because there is a pumpkin, there's a fruit, and thanks to D Mood, all my Jamaican pumpkins throughout the garden are from D Mood. So these were all my pumpkins were planted from seed on February 23rd, along with all my other seedlings, and they're all really doing great. There I have some hibiscus, my cranberry hibiscus. Then here, this is my biggest pumpkin, also from seed. Ooh, guys, look, look, look at that beautiful pumpkin. Wow, so my pumpkins are blossoming. My pumpkins already have fruit. There's another fruit right there. Wow, so I'm gonna have some really good Jamaican pumpkin. Hey, look at it, it's already vining, and the chickens have been enjoying the leaves. Storm out. The chickens have been enjoying Storm. Come on, baby. The chickens have been enjoying the leaves. As soon as the leaves touch there, they eat them. So I have to be careful that they don't eat all the blossoms. But pumpkin is doing great. The girls are doing great. Look at them fighting over the watermelon. They love the watermelon rinds. When I eat the watermelon, I throw the rinds in there, and they love it. Here I have one of my star fruits. Some more cranberry hibiscus. That's doing super, super great. My longan, it's alive. All my trees desperately need water, so now that I'm gonna be getting a well, I'm just hoping it does really good. Here's another frangipani cut-in that I don't know what color it is yet. Then here I have my pimento tree. Okay, we hear you, we hear you. There I have my pimento tree, which is hardly hasn't grown much, but it's looking very healthy, and I see a lot of new growth now. Last year it hardly grew. All the cuttings and clippings that I did from last year, the cranberry hibiscus, all the vervain, everything in the chicken run is doing really great. And guys, look at the Mexican sunflower. It is amazing. Look at that sunflower. Remember that was a little stick behind the coop when I first planted it back in last spring, and now, right girls, simply stunning. And over here I have my second star fruit. Hasn't given me any blossoms yet, but you do see that there are some new leaves coming out, so God willing there'll be some good fruit for us this year. And this is my ackee tree. This ackee tree was started off maybe like an 8-inch twig. It had lost all its leaves. I thought it was drying up, and instead of dumping it, I pulled it out and put it in a pot until it started bringing leaves. And now guys, look how much it has grown over the past year. I know once the rainy season comes, this is just gonna take off. You can see it has a lot of growth, new buds coming out. So right ladies, yeah, so this is really a great tree. So let me show you how the seedlings that I started a month and 2 weeks ago, let me show you how they're doing. So here you see these are my cucumber seedlings, and you can see that they're already blossoming. And let me see. Yeah, it's mainly male blossoms right now, but these are already blossoming. So I'm really happy with my cucumber seedlings. I have one, two, three on this side that are blossoming. And then here I have some castor bean seedlings. These are castor bean seedlings. I had a few when I chopped down my castor bean tree. A couple of people reached out saying they were interested in castor beans, so I set these seedlings. Once they are big enough, then I'll have them on Etsy for you. Here I have my thornburn tomatoes that I also started from seed the same day. You can see they're doing extremely well. I've also planted some in the ground. Here are my lima beans, and this one is already putting on quite a bit of blossoms, so I'm going to be getting some good lima beans. This one was a very, very weak seedling, but I just decided to leave it right beside it. I didn't think it was going to make it, but it's making it, so I'll probably transplant that one. Then I have a couple butterfly peas along here and some Korean melons. The Korean melons have been stuck at this size for maybe the past month. Nothing has happened with them. Not sure what's going on. Behind here I have a few papaya seedlings that I started several months ago. I've already transplanted a couple into the ground. Alright, so here is my moringa cuttings. Remember 2 weeks ago
I cut my moringa stem into several pieces, and guys, look, this already has sprouted, and it's been 2 weeks in this pot. Here's that sprouting. That one right there has 2 sprouts. You can see right here and right here is sprouting. And this one is already budding out also. So all 3 are sprouting. This was the top piece, piece. This one hasn't sprouted, which is fine. But all the thicker pieces that I planted have sprouted, so I'm going to be planting moringa throughout the garden. Here I have a cowpea. This was one cowpea that my Aunt Thelma found dried up in her garden. She sent me that one pot. It had 3 peas. One of them germinated, so I'm gonna have a cowpea right here. Then here, guys, are the thornburn tomatoes that I planted in the ground. I planted them pretty deep. So these are gonna give me some yummy tomatoes. I'm really looking forward to thornburns. Those are like medium-sized tomatoes. I'm so used to only eating the Everglades and the grape tomatoes here in South Florida. But these are medium-sized, but they do well in the heat, so I'm really looking forward to growing these. Then guys, look at my blackberries. My blackberries are doing extremely well. Remember, this is the one that was hidden under my passion fruit vine. Then now that I moved it, they have blossoms everywhere. So I'm looking forward to having my first blackberries in the garden. Then over here, I have some more thornburns. And that's it for there. This is my coral bush. It has been blooming really nicely. That's another bloom coming out. I just noticed it has seed pods. I'm going to let these seeds dry because I absolutely want this beautiful plant throughout the garden. So when the seeds dry, I'm going to plant a couple more. I'm going to try and start some of the seeds and plant a couple more in the garden. Because, as I always say, it's not just about beauty. It's not just about food. I also like the beauty. All right. So that's my other papaya tree. Then over here, I want to show you my Mandevilla. This one had been eaten down to sticks by some caterpillars. I chose to allow the caterpillars to live so I can have more butterflies. But you can see it has come back. It's extremely healthy, 10 times healthier than it was before, believe it or not. I guess it was the same effect of having a good pruning. And this is my first Mandevilla flower that's opening. But you can see there are several more buds. Then right beside it, this I am extremely excited about, guys. This is eddo. This is eddo, which is in the same family as malanga, or in Jamaica we say coco. The leaves are edible, but this is a ground provision. This is actually a root crop that has the roots. The roots are where the food forms. So I had planted 2 coco in here last year. I didn't harvest them, but you can tell those 2 coco are probably now 2 dozen. That means they bore fruit, or they bore food, and I didn't harvest them, so they just repropagated themselves, and they're all growing. What I may do is go through and thin them out. I don't want to pull them out until I decide where they're gonna go. Well, maybe let me pull one so I can show you what it looks like. Let's see what one of these look like. So I'm gonna try, see if I can pull one so you can see what it looks like. Okay, so here is the little eddo, or this is the actual food. This is the actual coco, and this one is young. As you can see, this one just sprung up. So this is what the eddo looks like. So if I'd harvested, I'd have harvested this. They can of course get bigger, but I'm gonna stick this back in the ground and allow it to grow. And in the fall, once they dry up, once the leaves dry, that's when you know they're ready. I'll go back and harvest the rest of these. So I'm gonna stick this in here for now, and I'll probably transplant a few of these so they can have room to grow, so that we have lots of eddo. Right beside it, guys, I'm super disappointed. My Kerry mango tree has been struggling. The few mangoes that I got just dried up. They turned brown. I'm not sure what's going on. If you guys have an idea, let me know. But you can see These mangoes have turned brown. This one is still green here. But the majority of them have dried up. They have just turned brown and fallen off. I have a couple left on a tree. I don't know if they're gonna hold. I had 9 that were holding and I'm down to maybe 2 or 3. So that's pretty devastating. I was really looking forward to having some more of those delicious cherry mangoes last year. But you know, that's life. I know within the next couple of years, all my mango trees will be bearing. So if at least one doesn't come through, at least I'll have the rest. These girls are we're just making a whole bunch of noise. So a part of the video is a chicken. So let's go see if they have any eggs for us. Excuse me, girls. Inside, inside. These girls. Hey, girls. Come on, we're here. Here to check for check for eggs. Ooh, wee. All right, so they have 5 eggs for us. Not counting the ceramic ones. Ooh, they feel nice and warm. Like they literally just laid the eggs. Okay, all right. All right, girls. You don't want me to take your eggs? Yeah, mommy needs the eggs. Mommy needs the eggs. No? It looks, oh boy. The escapees got out. I didn't close the door properly. Now I gotta catch these girls, get them back in. And that doesn't look like a chicken in the coop. Storm is in the coop. Hey, Storm, out. Oh, jeez. Oh, gosh. What am I going to do with these girls? What am I going to do with these girls? You guys are going to follow me on the tour? Yeah? Yeah? Alright, guys. That's it for my video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope this inspired you to go out and plant a seed today. Doesn't take a lot of money. Doesn't take a lot of time. You know, you plant your seed today and you never know what you'll be reaping in just a couple months. Okay, guys, till next time. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and share this video with your friends. And, you know, let me know. Please drop a comment below. Let me know what you're growing now. I know it's spring just about everywhere. Just about everywhere you can start seeds now. Or you can start planting outside. So let me know, guys. What are you growing in your garden? Share with me by dropping a comment below. All right? I would love to hear from you guys. Till next time. Bye now.